All right, so we talked a little bit in the last video about FHA rural housing, but we didn't talk about conventional loans. This is Tracy Day. She is my preferred lender, and she can get it done. So I want you to talk about, like, FHA. What does the house have to, like, I know there's qualifications for FHA on the home. Tell me what the house has to look like.
As far as the house itself, the condition of the house has to be where there are not any things that could cause hazardous or safety issues. First of all, no broken glass, no rotten wood, no peeling paint. That's usually the main things that you see. And if it has any of that, it won't qualify for FHA, so that would have to be fixed prior to closing.
Rural development's about the same, isn't it?
It is the same.
All right, so rural development, credit score has to be a little bit higher, but let's talk about FHA. So you can do loans 580 credit score.
Yeah, FHA I can do down to a 580, which FHA requires the 3.5% down payment. Now, I'll stay on the subject of FHA for a minute, because if you have a 660 credit score for FHA, but you don't have any down payment money, we do have a grant program that will cover your 3.5% down. If you have a 660 credit score, but your debt ratio cannot be over 45%. And that may be a good thing if you don't have any money, but maybe you don't qualify for rural development. For other reasons, there's different reasons you may not qualify for rural development. So that's another option for FHA.
Now, we did have a buyer that could not, he didn't have the 3.5% down, but he could go rural development, but his price was less, and we just couldn't find a house. So, there are some things with rural development, even though it's a great program, there are still some things that you have to kind of work out.
There are. In rural development, I'm going to tell you, rural development approvals are getting a little bit, I would say, more difficult, but at the same time, maybe I should back up. Okay, I can do a rural development down to a 620 credit score, or I have an investor that'll do down to a 620. 620, every time you run it through what we call the automated system for rural development, it's going to give us a manual underwrite. So what that does, it gives us some additional overlays for the file, as far as your ratios can only be a certain amount. They usually want you to have 1 month of reserves, meaning, 1 month of house note in a savings account or a 401k or just anywhere. So little things like that you have to have in order to qualify for a manual underwrite. These days, and it just kind of depends on your credit as a whole, because there's not really a set score, it's just your credit as a whole. But usually what I'm seeing more than anything is a 680 or better, you're getting approved eligible on rural development, meaning we don't have to go with those manual guidelines. You're just approved and you just do check stubs, W-2s, tax returns.
All right, so now on FHA, the 3.5% down, it can be a gift. You cannot borrow it. You cannot acquire any more debt.
That's right.
The main thing is, when you're buying a home, don't change jobs. Don't open another line of credit.
No, don't buy a car.
Because, I just bought this house and I kept texting her, when can I buy furniture? When can I buy furniture? When can I buy furniture?
Said, stop.
And I'm a realtor and I know better. All right, so conventional, the house doesn't have so many guidelines.
No, it does not.
But you have to have more money down.
You do. You have to have more money down. Now, conventional does have a 3% down program. However, you do have to have a higher credit score, and your interest rate's going to be higher as well. A lot of times,
I don't think we've done a conventional loan in a minute.
No, most everybody has to go FHA, honestly, because of what we're finding, or what I'm finding more than anything with borrowers and their credit and things like that. It's either their credit or their debt ratio. And conventional will not allow your debt ratio to be as high as FHA will, and VA. RD, a little bit different. They're not going to take a debt ratio as high as FHA or VA. So conventional, you've really got to follow in those guidelines, as far as your debt ratio does have to be significantly lower. We do have a 3% down program, but your interest rate is so much higher. So sometimes when you look at the 3% down for conventional and the higher interest rate, it's better to look at the FHA with the 3.5% down, but a much lower interest rate. So it just depends on the scenario because every customer's different.
All right, so Tracy, what's your phone number?
318-614-3555. It's easy to remember.
It is. I give it out all the time.
3555.
So if you are wanting to get pre-approved, this is my girl. This is who I use. This is my go-to. And I'm telling you, if it can be done,
we can do it.
If it can be done, she can do it. We have worked miracles this year.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But anyway, stay tuned, like and subscribe, and we'll have more information for you coming soon.
Yay.